Let's see together how to develop the victim's backdoor client application. You need to understand that the server is already listening for the client to be executed. After that, the client can start receiving commands from the attacker. Also, it is very important that you already watched and practiced the third module of this course. If not, this is going to be very hard for you to follow up with me during my explanation. Let's start. At the top, we usually import our libraries. The subprocess is used for executing the command on the victim's machine. You already know why I'm using the socket library, right? Same for argparse. If you recall, I used this library for parsing the arguments in the command line. The program starts here, where we call the main function. In the main function, I'm using the argparse library to parse the IP address and the port number. And again, if this is not familiar to you, I invite you to go back to the third module. If the user did not enter the IP address in the command line, I call a custom print message to show how to use the application with the proper commands. Finally, I call the client connect function by passing the attacker IP address and the port number that it's listening on. In the client connect function, I'm instantiating the socket object and storing it in the client variable. Next, I'm using the client variable to connect with the server, using the server IP address and its port number. If everything is okay, we print a message to the user that the connection is established. So what do we need to do next? Well, start receiving orders from the attacker using the receive data function. This function will wait indefinitely for the attacker to send an order. Every command it receives from the server will be executing using the execute command function. Before I show you how to execute commands locally, there's one step here after executing the shell. We need to send back to the server the results output of that command. Now let's jump into the execute command function. In the first line, I'm using the rstrip function to remove any leading white spaces at the end. Next, I use the subprocess library to execute the command locally. First, by using the command value. After that, to capture the standard error, we use the subprocess stdout. Then we use the shell equal to true on Unix system to default the shell to /bin/sh. If the execution was successful, we return the results back to the receive data function. And we're done. For now, let's jump to the next demo to see how the attacker server works under the hood.